I'm Laura Broggi. Thanks for joining me. Let's start in mountain pose today. Let's have our feet hips width apart, weight balanced, arms to your side, chest open, and just settle into our practice. Let's take a few more breaths here. Okay, inhale, arms rise. And then let's do a side stretch. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and stretch over to the right. And inhale, center. And then we'll switch sides over to the left. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale to rise. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale and then exhale over to the right. Inhale, center. Stretch over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Then inhale up to rise. And one more time, grab your left wrist and reach over to the right. Inhale, center, over to the left, back to center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. And hands to heart center. Okay, let's bring our feet together and come into chair pose. So lift your arms up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. You can step or jump back to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back to down dog. Let's lift the right leg up. Bring your foot between the hands. Come into warrior A for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Lift your left leg up and step between the hands for warrior A. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Step back and take your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back to down dog. And we'll stay here for a few breaths just to get a nice opening in the back of the body. Push your heels down toward the floor. Upper back, shoulders wide. Then jump or step up to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. And exhale, rise. And we'll do that again. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jump or step back and take your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back to down dog. Let's lift our right leg up and step between the hands for warrior A. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Take your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Let's bring your left foot up and step between the hands for warrior A. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Come down to chaturanga, exhaling. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back to down dog. We'll hold this for a few breaths. Let's jumper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to rise. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, jumper step back. Take your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale back to down dog. Okay, let's lift our right leg up, bend and open the hip. Do some nice big hip circles here. One direction and then the other. Really warming up the hip joint. And let's step between the hands and come into warrior A. So hips will be facing forward, left foot outer blade pushing down towards the floor, arms up. Try to keep a neutral spine here. Maybe sink a little deeper in the hips. Okay, and let's lean forward with your arms stretched back, putting the weight over the front leg. Let's have strong arms here. Okay, let's inhale up to rise for a breath in warrior A. Then let's bring our left hand down and twist open to the right. So your right hand can be stretched up. Try to keep your hips level here, but twisting your chest over to the right. And you can look down for more balance. And let's bring our right hand down and come into plank pose. And we'll hold this for a few breaths. So let's lift the right foot if you'd like to join me. Try to keep your hips low. And put your right foot down and lift the left foot. And foot down. And then come into chaturanga, inhaling up to up dog. And then back to downward facing dog. Okay, let's lift the left leg up, bend and open the hip, and we'll do some hip circles here again. So rotating one direction, and then the opposite direction. Open the hip, and then step between the hands, and we'll take warrior A on this side. So raise your arms up, sink your hips, have the blade of the right foot pressing down into the back of your mat. And you can look wherever's comfortable for your neck. And then from here, we'll lean forward and rise your arms behind you. Have strong hands, strong arms. Then let's inhale, rise up to warrior A. Then we'll take that twist, so right hand down, left arm up, hips level with the floor. You can look up if you like, or for more balance, you can look to the side or down. And let's put our left hand down and come into a plank pose. So try to keep your hips low, and then we'll lift the right foot up again if you like, for a little more strength. And place the foot down and lift the left leg up. And put your foot down, and we'll take a vinyasa here, and we'll meet in down dog. Let's jumper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. And we'll do that one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jumper step back. Take your vinyasa, or you can skip them if you like. And we'll meet in down dog. So I'll go a little faster this round. So let's lift our left leg up and then step between the hands for warrior A. Maybe you can go a little deeper. And exhale the hands back and lean forward. Inhale back up to warrior A. Then we'll take the twist, left hand down, right arm up. And we'll bring the right hand down, come back into plank, and we'll just hold this for a few extra breaths. Then exhale, take your vinyasa or meet in down dog. Okay, let's lift the left leg up and then step between the hands for warrior A. Lift your arms, sink your hips. And let's lean forward, arms back, chest over the thigh. And inhale, arms rise. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up for a twist. Let's bring the left hand down and come into plank. Hold this for about 5 breaths. Planks are excellent for strengthening the entire core. So really push into your hands and don't let your shoulders relax in these. You want a strong back, strong arms here. And then let's take a vinyasa or meet down in down dog. Let's jumper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. And hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jumper step back. Take your vinyasa, or you can skip it and meet in down dog. Let's raise the right leg up and step between the hands. We're going to come up to warrior B. So sink the hips, strong arms out, gaze over the front hand. And try to sink a little deeper into this with each breath. And we'll come into reverse warrior. So right arm up overhead, gaze up, left hand gently on the back thigh, keeping your hips low, feeling that nice side stretch. And let's come back to warrior two and then into side angle. So you can have your elbow on your knee, your hand on the floor, a block, inside or outside the leg, whatever works for you. And your arm can be straight up or over your head. Just make sure your chest is open to the side. Now let's come back up to warrior two. Straighten the right leg, lean forward and place your hand on the inside or outside of your foot for triangle. Your left arm can be straight up, or you might like to bring that up over your head. If you pull back slightly on your foot without actually moving it, you can engage your hamstrings just a little bit more to get a really good stretch. And let's bring our left hand down to the floor. Step back and take your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Let's reach our left foot up and step between the hands, and we'll do warrior two on this side. So sink those hips. Just make sure your knee stays above your ankle to keep your knee safe. Strong arms. Now let's come into reverse warrior, keeping the hips low. Left arm up overhead, right hand gently on the thigh. Let's come back to warrior two. And then your version of side angle. Whatever works for you. Maybe you can even do a bind. So whatever you did on the other side. Let's come back up to warrior two. Straighten the left leg, then reach out as far as you can and place your hand down on the inside or outside of your foot, or maybe even a block here for triangle. You can have your arm overhead or straight up. Then let's place the right hand down, step back, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, and exhale back to down dog. Take a couple breaths here. And jump or step to the front of the mat, inhaling half back, half way, exhale forward, inhale, arms rise, and then we'll do that one more time, a little faster. Exhale, forward fold, inhale, flat back, exhale, jump or step back, take your vinyasa, or you can skip it, and back to down dog. Right leg up, Step between the hands and we'll come into warrior two again on this side. And sink your hips. And reverse. Come back to warrior two. Your version of side angle. Maybe you can take it a little deeper. Back to warrior two. Straighten the right leg and come into triangle pose. Left hand down, step back, exhale chaturanga, inhale up dog, and exhale back to down dog. Inhale left leg up, step between the hands, exhaling, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Side angle pose, whatever you did on the other side. And back up to warrior two. Straighten that left leg and come into triangle. Right arm down. Exhale chaturanga, inhale up dog, and back to down dog. Let's take a moment here. Then jump or step up to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. And hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jump or step back and take your vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. Inhale, right leg up, step between the hands. Come into crescent pose. So arms rise, hips sink. Really stretch back on that left leg. Try to straighten it a little bit more. And we'll lean forward and come into revolved half moon. So your left hand will come down, right arm up. Hips level with the floor. Your gaze, if you'd like a little more balance, have it down. Otherwise, you can have it to the side or up. And then step back into crescent. Let's take a twist. So our left elbow will be outside the right knee. You can have your hands in prayer, or if you'd like to go further, you can extend your arms out, or possibly take a bind, half or full. Let's bring our hands down and take our vinyasa. Lift the left leg up and then step between the hands for crescent on the left side. Reach up tall, sink your hips, reach that right leg back. Feel a nice stretch in the hip flexor on the right leg. Maybe a back bend here. And let's lean forward for a revolved half moon. So your right hand down, left arm up, hips level, gazing down for balance if you need it. This is also a good pose for a block if you need a little bit more space. Now step back to crescent and hook the right elbow outside the left knee. You can keep your hands in prayer, extend the arms out or bind here, whatever you did on the other side. And then let's bring our hands down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale back to down dog. We'll do that one more time, a little bit faster this time. In just a moment. Let's take a breath. Okay, let's lift your right leg up. Step between the hands into crescent pose. Inhale, arms rise, possibly a back bend here. And lean forward into half moon, revolved, left hand down, right arm up. Now let's step back to crescent and take our twist. Maybe you go a little deeper here this time. Hands down, step back, take your vinyasa. Left leg up, step between the hands, rise up. Then lean forward and come into revolved half moon. And let's step back and then take our twist. So either hands in prayer, bind, maybe arms wide. Then hands down and take your vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. Then we'll take a few breaths here. And let's step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. And hands to heart center. Now let's come into chair pose. So just hold this, arms up, hips back. Make sure you can see your toes. Open your chest. Sink down a little lower if you can. And from here, we're going to come into a twist. So let's hook our left elbow outside our right knee. Have our hands in prayer position, or you can have your arms out wide. And try to get it a little bit deeper with each breath. Let's come back to center, and then we'll twist to the left. So right elbow outside left knee. in your variation. Okay, then hands to center, forward fold. And let's have our feet hip width. Grab your big toes, inhale flat back, and then exhale forward fold. And lean your hips a little bit more forward than you normally would, just to get a nice stretch in the back of the body. Okay, let's inhale flat back and then exhale fold. Then we'll come up, inhale, arms lift, and hands to heart center. Okay, let's bring our weight into our right foot and lift our left leg and wrap it around your right for eagle. And then we'll have our left arm underneath the right, clasping your hands if you can, sinking down into this. If you need to have your toes on the ground, that's fine too for balance. And really lift your arms up to get a nice stretch in the upper back. Have a soft gaze. And then let's come up, shake it out a little bit, and then we'll switch sides. So let's bring the weight into our left foot and then wrap our right leg around. And then your right arm will be underneath your left. And really sink down into this, lifting your arms up and your hands away from your face. And then come back up, shake it out a little bit. Good job. Just take a moment here just to readjust. Let everything that's happened so far go. Okay, let's inhale, arms rise, and then exhale, forward fold. And then from here, we're just going to rotate over to the left side of our mat, long ways, and then lift up. Let's have our hands in prayer or on the ground and do some side lunges. So lunge from side to side, lifting up the long legs, foot. Really sink down into the hips. If you need your hands for balance, please put them down on the ground. Otherwise, try to keep them up for a little bit more strength. And then we're going to pause on the right side. So you can stretch your arms out wide, gaze up. If you can take a bind here, you can go ahead and do that here. Just twist your chest open. So this is a great hip opener and a twist. And let's release, bring our hands down, and then come to the other side. So bring your left hand out, right arm up, twist, and if you like that bind, go ahead and take that on this side. You really twist your chest open, flex that right foot, feel the nice hamstring opening in the back of the leg. And then let's bring our hands down and just forward fold, wide-legged here. Half foot lift, and then let's grab our big toes and then forward fold down as far as you can, reaching your head towards the floor. If your head easily reaches the floor, then bring your feet a little closer together so you have more space. Then hands down, flat back, hands on hips, and rise up. Okay, we're going to come into goddess, so let's point our toes out, heels in, and sink down into the hips, arms stretched out to the side. And breathe into this. Keep your knees nice and wide. Feel the legs get stronger. And then let's come up and bring our heels out, toes in. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale up, and then exhale. Fold over and reach your hands towards the floor. This will give you a nice front shoulder stretch. With each inhale, lengthen, and with each exhale, go a little bit further into the pose. Okay, release your hands, flat back, and then come up to rise. And let's come up to the front of the mat, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jumper step back. Take your vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. And from here, we're going to take a dolphin pose. So go ahead and bring your forearms down to the ground. You would like your elbows to be shoulder width apart, hands clasped, and then walk your feet in. And if you can, lift your right leg up. And really stretch into this. This is a great shoulder strengthener. And right leg down. Then we'll lift the left leg up. So reach it up as high as you can with your hips level. And then bring your left foot down. And then let's come into child's pose. Just release that. And we'll do that one more time, but let's take a moment. Okay, let's come back up. Clasp your hands, have your elbows about shoulder width apart. Stretch up and bring your feet closer to you in a shortened down dog type of pose. And lift that right leg up if you like. Really stretch it up. And release. Then we'll lift the left leg up. And then release. And then let's come into child's pose once more. Just really totally relax your body here. Relax the shoulders. And from here, we're going to come into a headstand if you like. If you don't, you can always put your legs up the wall here. But if you're with me, Have your hands the same way as you did with the dolphin, but your head's on the floor. And you can bring one leg up at a time, or you can maybe pike up. Just make sure your hips are over your shoulders and you're pushing through the arms so there's not very much pressure on your head. So if you haven't done headstand before, you can certainly do a shoulder stand, legs up the wall, or you can just hang out in child's pose. That's always good too. And it's nice to get upside down and reverse the flow of gravity. Really zip up through your midline for balance. Make sure you're pushing down through your arms to support and not to put too much pressure on your head. And slowly come back down, and then we'll take another child's pose. Just to take a moment here so you don't get a head rush. And from here, let's put our hands down and come into down dog for a moment. Maybe stretch it out, walk it out. Then let's lift the right leg up and then come into pigeon. Now, if you have knees that bother you, you can take pigeon on your back in figure 4. But if you're with me, have your right leg in front, parallel-ish with the front of the mat, and lift up. And then exhale, forward fold over that right leg with your left leg straight behind you. And we're going to hold this for about 15 breaths to really get into the hips, ease into them. We never want to try to force flexibility. We have to allow the body to get more flexible. So if you have a block, you may like to rest your forehead on it here. And just breathe into your right hip and try to allow it to open and soften. Okay, let's slowly come up, lift up, and then come into down dog. If you were in pigeon, walk it out a little bit. And then let's lift our left leg up and then bring the left leg as parallel to the front of the mat as you can. Lift up and then forward fold over your left leg. And this side may feel very different from the other side. That is totally normal. And just make sure that right leg is stretched straight behind you and not off to the side. And sink into this. Feel the tension ease out of your left hip. Okay, let's lift up, inhale, then exhale back to down dog, and shake it out, stretch it out. And let's make our way onto our back for a few back bends. So let's bring our feet hip width apart, close to our hips. And you can either take a wheel or a bridge. So if you're with me with bridge, go ahead and lift your hips up, clasp your hands underneath you, and push down in the floor with your hands. And keep your knees about hip width apart here. You don't want them out too wide. And just really stretch up. Try to relax your glutes as much as you can here. And then ease your hips down. Let's bring our feet wide and knees together. Just relax for a moment. Okay, let's do two more. So if you can do bridge again, or if you'd like to try wheel, you can have your hands reversed by your head and then push all the way up. Maybe bring the feet in a little closer. Just make sure they're not too wide, they're hip width. And try to straighten your arms. Relax your glutes. Engage your core just a little bit so you're not dumping into your low back here. And come down. Let's have your feet wide again, knees together. Okay, let's come into our last back bend. So either wheel or bridge, or you can even take a supported bridge and put a block underneath your hips, your sacrum. So whatever back bend you're doing, make it your best. And then slowly come down. One more time, feet wide, knees together, just to relax the low back here. Okay, let's bring our knees in and we're going to take a twist. So whatever your favorite twist is here. So you can have your knees together, maybe do eagle legs, right leg wrapped around the left. But let's bring our knees over to the left, right arm out, chest open, and look over towards your right hand. If you need a little support here, you can always put a block under your knee. And breathe. And then let's slowly come back up to center. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll bring our knees over to the right side, left arm out, look over towards your left hand. Open your chest open. Let's bring our knees back to center, hug them in, roll side to side a little bit, giving yourself a massage. Then we'll come into happy baby. So let's grab the outside of our feet and bring our knees towards the floor. Relaxing your head on the floor. You can rock side to side or just hold. Just feeling that hip tension ease. Sinking the back into the floor. And from here, let's keep the right foot and then lower the left foot to the floor. And you can keep it on the floor or you can straighten your left leg out. And just really pull on that right foot just to get a little bit more openness in that right hip. And sink your left leg toward the floor if you've got it straight. And feel that hip flexor opening. And then let's bring our left foot back and grab it. So we're in a full happy baby. And then we'll switch. So you can have your right foot on the floor or straighten that out. And then we'll pull down with our left hand and open up our left hip a little bit more. Stretch the right leg out if it's straight. And let's bring our right foot back up just for a moment. Grab both feet again. Give yourself a little rock. Then release, bringing your knees in, nose to your knees, and a tight little ball. And then let's stretch out for Savasana. So whatever your most comfortable position is, maybe your legs wide, arms wide. If you have something to put over your eyes, that might be nice. If you're a little cold, maybe a blanket. A bolster under the knees is also a nice option here to release tension in your low back. And just sink into this and enjoy. All the work is done. It's time to relax. Let's start to bring the awareness back into our bodies by making small movements with your hands and your feet, maybe shaking your head side to side. And let's bring our knees into our chest and then roll over to one side using your arm as a pillow. And taking your time, go ahead and make your way up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Just observe how you feel here. Let's bring our hands to heart center, bow our head in gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.